With the Puck Dogs. Like I said this morning when I did that ridiculously early show today, that we were going to be back later on this afternoon between 5 and 5:30. It's 5:28 p.m. on the East Coast, so we made it in those parameters. It's our first. We don't do too many afternoon shows here. I'm thinking about doing more nighttime and afternoon shows. I'll have to see how that goes. But in the meantime, we're just doing this special edition because I'm just getting off a plane. I mean, I've been home for maybe an hour the most. But how's it going, guys?
Fantastic. I just like to sleep in the mornings.
Interesting to see how many people we get at this time. I know a lot of people work during the day when we normally have the show. The reason why I think we used to do the show later on in the afternoon when I originally first started doing lives, and it just didn't have the shelf life that the early show does, where people can just come back and watch it. So if you missed the live show, you kind of missed it, and that's why we moved it early. But we could always have other shows, just so it's kind of a good test. We'll see exactly what happens. We didn't really announce it too well, but we'll see if people show up. But we got six NBA. We got a slew of college basketball, all different sorts of games, and then we got how many NHL we got?
Three.
Well, Chris, kick us off with an NHL pick. Let's get us going. What's the first game on the card? Let's see if I'll get it up. What the hell?
We got Montreal taking on the Sabres in Buffalo.
Yep.
I like Montreal here. I mean, Buffalo, they're back to providing no value, even at home. And I mean, both teams lost their first game out of the All-Star break, but I think a loss to Washington is a little bit more forgivable than a loss to Ottawa when you're playing at home. I think Montreal is just a little bit of a hungrier team here, so I'll take Montreal minus 120.
Rob, what are you thinking?
I think I'm going to go the other way. Buffalo's been a pretty good team at home here. I know people are jumping on Montreal because they're getting their two stars back. Two players that haven't played in a while inserted into your lineup. I think it's going to cause some problems here. Give me Buffalo money line at home here.
Move to the next game. We got New Jersey up against Nashville. The Devils a home dog here at plus 125. Rod, what are you thinking?
This one here, I really like the over in this game. I think we're going to see some goals. I think Nashville squeaks out a win, so I take Nashville on the money line and
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna take New Jersey on the money line here at plus 125. Nashville's just been brutal. Second half of a back-to-back. 1-8 in their last 9 games on no rest. New Jersey had that comeback against Ottawa a couple days ago, fresh out of the All-Star break. So maybe this is where the Devils start to make a little bit of noise. I don't think it's going to be enough to push them into the playoffs, but a nice start to the second half of the season. I'll take New Jersey plus 125.
And then we've got Coyotes hosting the Kings. What do you think about this?
My stronger play for this one's going to be on the total. I like the over 5.5. Arizona's been playing well at home, but the problem is it's just they haven't been playing well lately, and I know a lot of that has to do with the fact that they have been on the road, but the goaltending is still murky in Arizona, and I don't know how much I love Los Angeles on the road, and that's not at all. So I'll take the over 5.5 here. I think we see a lot of goals here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I like the over 5.5 in this game, and I'm gonna take a shot with the Kings. With Hill starting in goal for the Coyotes here. There was a chance that Kemper was going to start today, but he's not. Aiden Hill is now confirmed, so I'll take a shot here with the Kings and the over.
All right, we'll move to college basketball. We got quite a few games on the card today, so well, I don't know how you guys want to go about this. We can how many games do you have for college hoops, Chris?
I have 5.
And how about you, Rod?
6. Six games I like today. Honestly.
All right, so Chris, why don't you give your first two now?
All right.
Who do you like in their first two?
First two, I like Georgia State minus 5.5 against South Alabama. Georgia State continues to just be a strong cover team and playing well at home. Still not sold completely on South Alabama. They've had a couple nice wins lately, but I think Georgia State's just a better team here, so I'll lay the 5.5. I also like Western Kentucky laying the 2.5 on the road at FAU. Western Kentucky's just rolling right now. They've won 5 straight coming into this game, and the Owls, even at home, they've taken a step back offensively lately. They're still a really good offensive team, but I just think Western Kentucky's momentum carries them to a win here, so I'll lay the points.
And who do you like in your second one?
That was my second one.
All right, Rod, give us your first three.
The first one is UAB at UTSA. I love UTSA here in this spot. UAB is 1-3 ATS the last 4. UTSA is 5-1 ATS the last 6. I'm just playing the better hoop, so give me UTSA minus 3.5. Next one, Colorado at UCLA. Colorado here is 4-1 ATS the last 5. We all know how we love the UCLA team, even though somebody's wearing that shirt. But I think Colorado's got the way better offense here and the better rebounding player in Tyler Bay here. I'll go with Colorado. Give me Colorado minus 4.5. I think they easily beat UCLA.
Is that 2 or 3 you gave?
That was 2.
Give one more, because Chris has got 3 more, and then I'll leave you guys 3 each.
Gonzaga here on the road at Santa Clara. This Zags team, since they lost to Michigan, has won 13 games in a row. They're 5-0 ATS against the spread. This is my best bet of the day. When this first came out, I took Zags at minus 16.5. I think that line's now up to minus 17 or minus 17.5. I still like it there. I think they win by 20 or more. Give me Gonzaga minus 16.5, minus 17, minus 17.5.
I don't see it, I don't see it. Conference game, laying 20 points on the road. Not my style. But stranger things have happened. Santa Clara is not bad. Let's see. I'm looking at FIU minus the 2.5 against Marshall. FIU perfect 9-0 at home this season, 4-2 against the number. Not so great against the number recently, just 5-5, but Marshall just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, kind of coming off of a rough stretch. Marshall's covered a lot of their games on the road that they haven't won, but they're not getting a lot of wiggle room here to work with. They're only getting 2.5 points. I like FIU in this one, laying the 2.5. Also like one that I gave out. I'll give out a different one then. I did a video on it. I'll go Texas State minus the 13 against Louisiana Monroe. This is a lousy road team in Louisiana Monroe. They stink. I mean, they absolutely stink. You got a team that's 8-1 at home, or 8-3 at home against a team that's 0-8 on the road. You got a team that's doesn't cover a lot of home games, but that means they've disappointed the home team plenty, home crowd plenty, but Louisiana Monroe doesn't offer a lot of resistance, 2-5-1. And then, the stat that I've been looking at a lot over the last month, the last 10 games, because now we're into conference play, so we can tell how these teams play against teams in their conference. And Louisiana Monroe just 2-8 in their last 10 games. I think Texas State takes them out to the woodshed. I'll lay 13 points in that one, at home. I don't know, I'll lay 15.5 at home with Austin Peay because I have been all season. I've been riding that train. The Governors, I mean, we've had some great teams over the years that have flown under the radar covering the spread for us, and Austin Peay has been one of my teams on this show just about every single time out, and they have everything that Vermont did for us last year. Austin P has been that for us this year. I know people aren't as emotional about Austin P as we got about Vermont last year, but the Governors have left no doubt and no reason not to jump on them every single game. Two teams that we've, there's been a few teams that we've adopted on the show. Quinnipiac, I mean, all of us have worked Quinnipiac. Rod is a big Quinnipiac guy. And then we have Georgia State, who Chris took today, and I've had them a ton this season too. They've been great. But Austin P has kind of been my team, I've just been riding these guys. 9-0 at home, 7-0 against the number at home, 8-1-1 against the spread in their last 10, 9-1 against the number in their last 10, up against a SIU Edwardsville team that's 5-16 on the season, 2-10 straight up on the road, 5-7 against the number. I know we're laying 15.5 points here, so they're trying to balance it out. But you're talking about an Austin P team that's one of the highest scoring teams in the country. 17 is that's like a cup of coffee for these guys. I'm going to take Austin P. I'm going to lay 15.5. Chris, let's go back to your last three here. What do you got?
Another one I like Arkansas State, laying 1.5 against App State. The line was at 2.5, but now it's dropped. That just means it's less work for us to have to worry about. Arkansas State's won 4 of the last 5, but they've also covered the number in each of those 5 games. They've been covering left and right. App State's been playing the whole win one, lose one. And I just don't think that App State has what it takes to hang with Arkansas State here, so I'll lay the 1.5 with the Red Wolves. I also like Iowa plus 5.5 against Maryland. Iowa last time I had that big comeback against Wisconsin. I just think that the Hawkeyes are going to turn this one into a knockdown, drag-out kind of dogfight.
Someone's asking if we're going to do a Super Bowl prop bet, Joe. And I think we can do that tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll get Steve Monahan. If you guys want to come on, you're more than welcome to be on. But we'll do that tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Just prop bets for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I like... no, it's okay. I like Iowa here. I'm going to put a little bit on Iowa money line after how they rallied against Wisconsin last time. And my last one, I like over 133 in Arizona, Washington. I just think this is a game where both teams could hit the high 60s, low 70s. There's talent on both sides, but I do think Arizona wins. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 2 or 3 point game. So I'll take Arizona somewhere in the ballpark of 71-69.
Is that everything?
That's all for me for college.
How about you, Rod? What do you got?
I got Utah at USC. For me, give me USC. They've been rolling. They're 5-0 ATS their last 5. They're just playing the way better basketball right now, and here at home, this Utah team is 2-3 ATS the last 5. Give me USC -8. That's been sitting at -8 all day. Give me that one. Minnesota at Illinois here. This will be a good game. For me, Illinois. Both these teams are playing pretty good basketball, but I think Illinois in their conference play are 7-2. Give me Illinois at home here. I got it at -5. I think it's up to -6. I'll still take it at -6. Illinois -6. And the last one here, I got Charlotte at Louisiana Tech. This Charlotte team, their last 5 has definitely been a cover machine. And at 9.5 points right now, I think that's too many. I think Louisiana Tech still wins, but I think Charlotte covers that. Give me +9.5 with Charlotte.
Kind of like Cal at home against Oregon, plus the 10.5. Gone back and forth on this one. I think Oregon wins the game. I just think Cal covers. Dogs are barking. I kind of like San Diego plus the 6 against San Francisco. San Francisco's got Gonzaga next, so it's sort of a trap spot. And then Stanford minus the 6.5 against Oregon State. I don't like the way Oregon State is playing at all right now. Let's move it over to the NBA. I'm sorry, I'm Ash Dragon, everybody. When you guys saw the first show I did was at 4 a.m. West Coast time today. So
long day.
It's been a long day. Chris, you see anything in the NBA?
There's two games I was keyed in on for the NBA. I like the over 227 in the Charlotte-Washington game. Washington's given up 150 points in back-to-back games. And Charlotte, they're not strong offensively, but I think they're capable enough to at least hold their own, contribute to the over here. And I like Atlanta +7 against Philadelphia. I just think Philadelphia is not a great team on the road. 9-15 straight up, 7-15-2 against the number. Atlanta's shown some fight lately, so I'll take a shot with Atlanta at +7.
Is that it? How about you, Rod? Any NBA you're looking at?
Yeah, I took Atlanta +7 as well. I really like that game. 76ers on the road have just been trash. 1-7-1 their last 9 on the road. Utah, Denver, a big game here tonight. Jazz are 1-5. ATS last 6 in Denver. And I think the world's jumping on Utah, so give me Denver here. Denver -1. I'll take Denver. And I like the Wiz at home. Give me the Wiz -4 at home. Then 4-1 ATS their last 5 at home over the Charlotte here. Give me the Wiz. And I also like the Raptors and the Cavs over 222.5. With what's his name out? The Raptors are going to increase the pace. I think we're going to see some more scoring here. Not as much defense.
I like the Celtics against the Warriors. Warriors just tanking it this year. And I like the Clippers against the Kings. I just can't stand the Kings this year either. So those will be my 2 NBA picks. Will be the Celtics and the Clippers. And these are really plays against their opponent more than plays on them. So, Chris, let's do the rundown.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I'm pushing. Okay, I hit the wrong button. I'm half asleep here. Let's see what we got. All right, go.
All right. Let's start on the ice. I like Montreal -120 against Buffalo. I like New Jersey +125 against Nashville. I like the over 5.5 in the Los Angeles-Arizona game. College hoops. I like Georgia State -5.5 against South Alabama. Western Kentucky -2.5 against FAU. Arkansas State -1.5 against Appalachian State. Iowa +5.5 against Maryland, and the over 133 in the Arizona-Washington game. NBA, like the over 227 in Charlotte-Washington, and Atlanta +7 against Philly. 3-game college hoops parlay. I like Western Kentucky -2.5, Arkansas State -1.5, and Iowa +5.5.
Okay, Rod.
Okay, we'll start with the hockey. I like Buffalo at home here tonight. Give me Buffalo on the money line here at home. Give me Nashville on the money line here and the over in that game. Kings at Coyotes. Give me the Kings on the money line here as an upset with Hill and goal. College hoops. I like UTSA over UAB -3.5. I like Colorado -4.5 over UCLA. I like -17. That's my best bet of the day. I like USC -8 over Utah. I like Charlotte +9.5 over Louisiana Tech. I like Illinois -6 over the Gophers. And for me, my bird cage of the day will be Gonzaga minus 17, Illinois minus 6, and UTSA minus the 3.5. Oh, and NBA, I like Denver minus the 1, Atlanta plus 7, the Wizard minus 4, and give me the Raptors game over 222.5.
I took FIU. All these are against the spread. I took FIU, Texas State, Austin P. That's my asterisk game. Cal, San Diego against San Francisco, and Stanford. And then I took in the NBA the Celtics and the Clippers. Those aren't really plays on those teams. Those are plays against their crappy-ass opponent that they're playing today. Putting the guys back in. Those of you that joined us late, we did a special time today because I was flying home today. My flight was at 6:30 a.m. Vegas time. So I did the computer pick show at the regular time at 4 o'clock. If you haven't been following the computer picks and playing those picks that I do on the show or taking advantage of the free trial, you have missed out big time. People are like, oh, you don't say your record. What are your record on your free picks? I've been doing all that on the computer show. So if you haven't taken advantage of it, too bad. So sad. I don't feel sorry for you. I don't want to hear about how you paid someone about $1,000 to rip you off. I don't want to hear it. Anyways, it's Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, guys. We'll be back at our regular time tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then in the afternoon, we'll have to figure out a time. I kind of like this time better than the 4 o'clock Eastern Time for the Steve Monahan show. If it's okay with you guys, I'll run it by Steve. If Steve can't do it, we'll just push him to the side. I'll do it with you guys. We'll just do a Super Bowl props bet show tomorrow at this same time around 5:30 Eastern Time. How's that sound?
Sounds good. I'm down.
You're going to get the O-line to push Steve out of the way, huh?
Well, whatever it takes. I think he might just show. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.
All right, see you guys.